Ready to get started?
I'm ready.
All right, so just want to welcome everybody tonight to the first meeting of the Budget Committee. So February 10th, 2026. Let's see, we've got Jim Perkins, David Stevenson, Eric Siniford, and myself, Amy Black, and Trent Emery had notified me that he's out of town tonight. And so he's been excused. And then for select board members, we have Henry Steck and our town manager, Shannon. So excited. Here is a binder for you, Jim. So Shannon put together binders for all members of the budget committee. So in there, you'll also see meeting agenda along with budget committee minutes from our last meeting. But that happened right before the town meeting last year, as well as the budget committee rules and procedures. So these three items were also on the Town of Wayne's website where public notice of the meeting was posted. And they're printed out in the binders for you. So there's also some contact information at the first part of the binder. And it's got budget committee members and select board members. So under budget committee members, if you could take a look at your telephone number and email and just let me or Shannon know if there's anything that needs to be updated or changed. Let's see. The first business tonight I have as approving the May 14th, 2025 meeting minutes.
So move. Second.
Okay, so David, any discussion about those? All in favor?
Who did them? Shannon, did you do them or Amy, you did them?
I did them.
Everyone else? Yep, in favor.
Yeah, so the second item of business tonight concerns the rules and procedures, so I've provided those. We have the ones that were adopted on March 11th, 2025. So right now, our meetings are expected to begin at 6:30 and will conclude by 8. Does that work for everyone? And then the rules and procedures document kind of outlines all the committee powers, officers, meeting days, quorum, agenda, public notice. So the budget committee meetings are a public meeting, and then the document also reviews any of the meeting format, decision making, and voting. So any concerns regarding the rules and procedures that we need to address tonight?
I didn't have
Good.
any.
I think I'm still
Okay.
fine.
Is that something that we would get a motion to adopt those?
I'd move we accept them as we did last year.
Okay, any seconds?
Second.
Great, and any other discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Any opposed? Okay, so, the next item of business is to elect a chairperson. Are there any nominations?
I would like to nominate Amy Black.
Thank you. Any others? Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Maybe you.
No, so let's see. I gotta get on. So the next item that we have on the agenda is the timeline. So Shannon had sent out a proposed fiscal year 26-27 budget workshop schedule on January 8th. And then I believe it's also a copy in the binder. Essentially, the budget was divided into, I guess, 3 areas. And the select board will discuss each area at their meeting, and then the budget committee will dig more in depth into that area in the next week when they have their meeting. So, Shannon, do you want to talk about the budget process and?
Sure. So I'll start off with, there's a quick overview on the left-hand side in your binder. It's just a quick breakdown on town expenses. What we're looking at for the budget for fiscal year 25-26. This is according to the categories in here.
Mhm.
And then some of the proposed for fiscal year 26 and 27. So these are still pending a lot of additional information. You'll see roads and the transfer station. We're not budgeting $0 for those. But I have those down pending infrastructure committee meeting, and we're working on a 5-year plan. And then the transfer station, I believe, is meeting tomorrow night, and they've already got a draft. So
Okay.
we'll get that put in here and revise it as it is finalized.
Oh.
Outside agencies, I'm still expecting some to submit final requests, and I've got to follow up with them.
Mhm.
And then you'll see on here too, we'll talk about this later, but some of the proposed moves between recreation and land and buildings, pulling out aging at home from general assistance and making it its own category. And so the select board is currently working with myself on updating some of the warrant article language for that. And as we update that, we'll submit that out to the budget committee as well as it pertains.
So you
So-
said some of the recreation was moving to land and building?
Yes.
Okay.
And when we get to those positions, I'll outline, there were 7 agencies that were pulling from the outside agencies. We're pulling from recreation and moving them into the outside agencies like Kennebec Land Trust or the Androscoggin Lake Improvement Association.
Mhm.
Those are outside agencies that are requesting funding from the town. So we'll move them as such. The Memorial Day Committee is a member of the town. The Conservation Commission is a member of the town. So those are staying under recreation.
And then the aging at home, you're proposing to have that in its own section?
Yes, and
Okay.
adding a budget line for programs, so that way when there's donations that come in through the town, there's a budget line to appropriate it to.
Oh.
It's both directions, in and out. then.
Yes,
Yeah.
yep, so we're basically just making sure that we are checking the block and doing the right thing on accepting donations
Mhm.
and having a place to appropriate that to.
Great.
The biggest thing I'd say on this, the key takeaways on here are the considerations. It's the bottom paragraph. And I've outlined some of the things that we're going to consider in the upcoming fiscal year. The Comprehensive Plan Committee has now just been assembled and they're having their first meeting on the 19th. It's
Okay.
next week, I believe next Wednesday at 2 p.m.
Mhm.
And so we might consider some administrative costs, whether we add that in with the town report or make it its own line, that's a consideration. It might not even be in the next year, it might be in the following year,
Mhm.
but something to consider. I just ordered 15 copies of the previous one, and that came out to $300.
Oh, okay.
So, just for a reference. Androscoggin Lake concerns, as those may develop, certain things we might want to consider with that, or allocations to the Androscoggin Lake Improvement
Mhm.
Corporation. There's been some requests about that. Development of a capital infrastructure and asset plan. Currently working on outlining all of the assets in our town and setting an estimated lifespan for that, and then just determining what the long-term cost might be to reinvest in that. So that I think will largely drive our capital reserve transfers. And some of those things may include a fire truck purchase. And so our fire chief right now is currently looking at a new truck. They range about 600,000. And what you'll see at the back of your binders is also a capital reserve list. So we'll go over that in just a minute as well. But so about a $600 purchase, we've got about 430,000 in an account so far. So they might look for a little bit more in an expense to purchase that truck in the upcoming year. Buildings committee, we've received a couple of applications that the select board will consider for that on Tuesday. As of this time, we've only gotten 2. And so there are 5 positions. We're hoping to get an overview of all of our assets in town. And so that way we can kind of start determining where our priorities are, whether it's the North Wayne Dam building floor system. The North Wayne Schoolhouse has an emergency escape that needs repair. The Wayne Townhouse has some boards inside they're giving out. The Lad Rec Center has a playground out here that when I've walked through a lot of these buildings, they said that that is a huge hazard. And so that is a consideration. Fencing around that, and there's bathrooms down here that need repair. The town office needs an updated heat pump. It's very hot and sometimes in the summer when you go up there and no air
Really?
conditioning, yes.
Didn't they put those in when they they didn't, did they?
That one is about, I think the heat pump that's up there is about 30 years old.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah, so that has stopped,
Version 1.
yes.
0.5.
And then a consideration is the east wall repair on the municipal building. Right now, there is an awning that is attached to the side by cables and it kind of pulls on the side of the building, which is creating a crack down the side. And it, essentially, if you open and close that door, it moves the wall. So that may be a consideration, again, for the buildings committee to prioritize and bring to us at some point in the upcoming, during this budget cycle. Again, with the infrastructure committee recommendations, we'll also be meeting on the 16th at 9:30 in the morning. We'll be discussing, so there's Tempe Bridge. We've recently met with a bridge engineer who stated that recently got posted. And if it gets posted again, then it could collapse at any point from 2 years to 10 years after that. So there are 3 different options and we're going to talk through that with the infrastructure committee.
You just say what posted means.
So,
Text-
Wait,
so
wait,
weight
wait.
limit.
Oh.
Yep,
Oh.
and so right now I believe it's at 22 tons.
Yeah.
If it comes down to, I think, 12 tons,
Mhm.
then that's pretty significant.
Okay.
And then Lovejoy Pond Dam, there's a crack down the side, so we'll be looking at that. And then Dexter Pond Road needs some construction as well. So we'll turn over now to our capital reserves. It's a table in the very back of your binder. And this is what we're currently tracking for all of our funds. Let me know if there's one that you think that is missing. This is what we've been accounting so far. And so a balance at the fiscal year end of June of 2025 is in the far left corner. Any appropriation that we put in for last budget cycle or a carry forward from the previous cycle is included in the second line. And then the current balance, so current year to date as of January of 2026 is in the third column. The fourth column is expenses. So you'll see I've only expended $228,272 from the road reconstruction account. And that was for Green Tree Road, Bessie Road, and Strickland Ferry Road. Under the fire truck, it's listed currently at $426,795 as their balance. But as of July 23rd of 2026, this summer, that will include an additional $7,358 in interest because it's currently in a CD. The fire equipment, they've spent $37,189 on personal protective equipment and some bottles that they've needed, which was, I think, a separate $23,000 purchase that has been approved. And then you'll see on the next accounts payable warrant at the select board meeting for $8,547. And that is for 4 gas meters. Under technology, last summer, we replaced, while everyone was out of the office and the office was closed for a week, we replaced 2 of our computers and 5 of the monitors. We still need, I think, another 3 computers to be replaced. I think the ones that are up in the front are running a bit slow. But you'll see that is still in there. And then the fire pod and dry hydrant, the fire department is requesting to move that into the fire department equipment fund. There are a couple of other accounts on here that we'll take a look at, and I'll have to get some guidance on. The transfer station, that was carried forward from 2023. I don't know what it's for.
It's odd that where it's kind of we share it with Reedfield, it's a payment. It's not really a capital. We don't do capital investments in the transfer station.
We do. There's 2 lines. When you look in the budget,
Yeah.
there's one line for operations and there's one line for capital.
So we do have to pony up if they buy a new.
Yes, yes, but they usually know that in advance.
Mhm.
And so sometimes when there was excess, it went into the capital reserve
So
in
it-
case it needed
It
for
dumped
something.
over here.
Yeah, in
Okay.
case there was something that needed to, yeah. that
So
came
that's
up.
probably a good one to keep then, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think? And
So when they send us the bill, they send it monthly and they have it broken down. And then they also include a monthly payment for capital improvement. So right now they're budgeting $32,993 for the upcoming fiscal year. Wayne is looking at a a 0.306 or percentage of that.
Mhm.
So 30% of that cost shared with Fayette and Reedfield. So it's looking at $10,107. So they'll essentially break that down into 12 monthly payments.
Right.
And include that with their transfer station operating costs.
And is transfer station, is that divided out based on valuation or is it divided out based on
Population.
It
population?
was
or-
population, I thought.
I think they go off of the state population. I'll have to confirm that
Oh,
with them
okay.
now.
Then Fayette came in, we actually
Yeah.
made out pretty well. It was
Yeah.
50-50, and then they came
Mhm.
in and they rearranged it a little bit.
Right.
It helped us one year, and
Did.
now it's,
I will ask them tomorrow,
Oh,
since
still
I'll be at
helping.
I'll be staying after to let them into the town office tomorrow. So I'll ask them, is this based off of population?
Shannon, you probably said this and I just missed it, but the January balance in the third column, is that before or after the expenses in the fourth column?
So that is after, you'll take
Okay.
the first column plus the second column and minus the expenses to give you that final column. So if you look at the road reconstruction, it would be about 961,000 or something, I think.
Yep.
Minus the 228 comes down to 691.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And the sign convention on the fire equipment, that should be a negative.
The fire equipment? Yes, so the 61 plus the 23 minus the 37
Yep.
gives you the 47.
Okay.
Yes, the 37 should be negative. I updated that.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you. So I'll be looking at,
parens were negatives, if you put it in the parens.
yeah. it's
Every accountant's different.
supposed to be negative, he was right.
Okay.
So, and then the footbridge and the dam repair replacement. I mean, those are promising and something that we'll have to talk about with the infrastructure committee, given the fact that the dam has come up, the Lovejoy Dam. And understanding what the costs look like. If we apply for any grants, there may be a matching for any of that, so we might want to earmark that. And I'll bring that up to them, but this is just where we're currently at. I know that that was a request, and so if anything else comes up, we'll let you know. But
So
does
Shannon,
anyone have any questions about it?
So I think you've already said it, and I'm just trying to be sure. Dam repair could be either dam.
Yes, it could.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The town, total town.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, I don't know what they were used for previously for the footbridge that gave it the balance. Or how that wants to be used going forward. Whether they're combined or whether they're put towards something else. Cemetery stone cleaning, they're at $9,700. So I think that's pretty good right now. I don't know if they'll need another,
How much it costs to clean those
Yeah,
things?
it's incredibly expensive.
Unbelievably expensive.
but I'll have to get.
I
an
think
update.
I think they're pretty well caught up finally, right?
Yeah. they were-
We'll invite them to the outside agencies.
My job, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a little spelling mistake there in cemetery.
Yes, it should be an E.
Okay,
No, this is very good, Shannon. We've
Mhm.
wanted this for a long
Yes.
time.
yeah, this is
Absolutely.
very helpful.
Hmm.
And then, so then also in your binders, in the previous tab, there is just a current, as of today, printed off, budget. So it shows fiscal year 25, fiscal year 26, and a proposed fiscal year 27. Those numbers are, as they are, pull it up real quick. So the actuals, what you had budgeted in that year, followed by how much you actually spent in that year. Same thing with 2026,
Mhm.
and that's year to date. So how much we've already spent. And at this point, I'd have to calculate out the numbers, I think, for that. I don't know what the percentage is to give you as a reference. But I can get back to you on that. And then what the proposed initial numbers are. Now, these are just tentative right now. And these are what we'll start talking about. So at the next meeting, we'll look at going into the general administration.
Mhm.
So general government, and that would include, so general administration, elections, general assistance, aging at home, assessing, code enforcement, and I think that's it.
Mhm.
Yes, we don't have any debt service, so we can just drop that off.
So do you think, and this is just kind of looking forward as you had all the different considerations, is there a possibility that the town might consider bonding for any of those? I don't know, maybe I'm looking in the wrong place.
We'll have to,
That's an
do
option,
some
always an option.
research,
Yeah.
but
I think we need to visit with the representative from Androscoggin Bank to find out for things like Tempe Dam or roads, what
Mm.
terms are available as far as the length of the loan and interest and such things. But yes, I think we should. I don't think we can fix everything that needs fixing out of taxes, out of a tax assessment.
Well, when I think of, at the last select board meeting that I went to and the possible cost for a Tempe Bridge reconstruction. It's just, I don't think that's something we could just do out of.
No,
You hope there are grants out there. The main thing is to get that ball rolling to see if we can't get something on the outside coming in.
Well, there's always resistance to financing.
Mhm.
But what I asked the last time for these big ticket items that last for many years, like the Tempe Bridge,
Yeah.
how many of you went out and bought your house with cash? Uh,
Oh, a number of years ago, we did a 5-year, for 5 years, we had to go out for bonds for roads as we were trying to get roads back on schedule.
7-year, it was a 7-year plan.
Yeah, but some of those were multi-years, right?
Covered them, but yeah.
I thought it was over 10 years. I think there were 5 roads, but they went out 5
Yeah.
years.
It was a 7,
But it was a long.
it was a long stretch.
process.
And at the, give or take at the end, roads are a funny thing. You can never catch up.
No.
They're always, in Maine, they're just ongoing, but at least we're in pretty good shape right now, I think, in many respects, so.
well, this is for the infrastructure committee to discuss and decide, but I know I've heard some folks indicate who are knowledgeable in road construction that if your policy is to fix the worst road and that's your priority, your overall expense is going to increase dramatically. There's something to be said for biting the bullet and fixing things up and then having a maintenance program like crack sealing and such things as that. So I'm hoping the infrastructure committee will take a look at that, and I'm sure they will.
Mhm.
right, so,
Could you go back to how far down this list did you get?
so, aging at
Our
home,
plan?
assessing and codes enforcement.
Okay.
Yeah, and it'll be also posted on the select board agenda,
Okay.
on Tuesday, because the select board will be going over that
It's
first
the
Thursday.
same thing.
Yep,
Okay.
Shannon, I think the select board may have asked you for this as well, but whenever you can put together a breakdown of the other 2/3 groupings,
yes.
so we can plan ahead.
Mhm.
I have it roughly mapped out, but I'll give you the exact ones. I'll send out an email.
That'd be great.
Mhm.
And so that's all I've got. If you have any questions, like I said, this is just a starting point, something you can look over in the next 2 weeks. And then if you have any questions in the next 2 weeks or want anything to supplement, you let me know and I'll bring it to the next meeting.
Mhm.
If you update this sometime, if you don't mind just flipping that back page around so we can
Oh,
turn it,
Oh,
cracking my head back. I'm spinning my book around.
Right.
But thank you. Just a little thing.
oh, mine was looking different.
oh yeah, because some of them are sideways. Yeah.
Mhm.
Have you heard, I mean, it's way too premature, I know, but we've been hammered by the county for 2 years in a row.
Mhm.
Are they rumbling
Yes.
more?
So I already met with, the deputy county sheriff last week. And they are proposing a 55% increase on their budget line.
Wow.
That's just for the, that one budget line. It's not for the county. And so there's some further discussions that are gonna be had about why, just individual towns are getting billed for this, because they are now moving from a dispatch from the state. The state was providing the dispatch for their Kennebec County rural, patrols to now combining with, Augusta Police Department per dispatch because of the system upgrades that they're looking at doing. But again, some of the other towns are concerned about being billed versus the whole county being billed for that as like kind of a separate cost. And I do believe the county has already put out an agenda for their budget calendar. February 26th, they're gonna have their second budget committee meeting, at 6 PM at Hill House. They're gonna be going over, EMA, facilities, probate, and IT. I can also send you their budget calendar if you're interested. They've got a 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th meeting scheduled through March 26th.
Are their meetings open to the public or are they, are people able to attend remotely or?
I believe they typically are. They're holding a
Mhm.
public hearing
Oh, okay.
on March 17th. And that'll be in Waterville. And then they do another one the following day on the 18th in Augusta at the State Street, 125 State Street.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I never did ask. Do we have anybody joining our meeting tonight remotely?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Mm. What questions or other concerns do folks have for tonight's meeting?
Just before we leave the county,
Mhm.
is Lloyd
Oh, that's-
representing the select board again? At the county?
I believe he is.
Okay,
He's currently on the policy,
Yeah.
the budget committee,
Yeah.
not policy, the
And
budget.
I don't
committee.
know that that's a select board appointment.
Right,
It's
yeah, I
something
know.
that He's just on.
oh.
He's part of
Yeah.
the county, yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
When we send you, our initial proposals on the budget, Amy, we'd like to get them in the form that they will appear as the warrant articles.
How would folks like to see that?
You can have, like this, also would be available for backup, but I'm just asking what you would like to see.
I'd present it more in this spreadsheet that we've used for years,
Yeah.
then convert that over to the warrant articles.
Mhm.
I think, Henry, there's probably gonna be a couple of articles that we will wanna share with the budget committee. Where we're
We have-
proposing
Yeah,
some different language than we've had in the past.
Well, when that comes up, it would be
Yeah.
good. It
we're
doesn't have to
proposing
be-
some different language and we could put it out when we discuss that segment, or we could do it later, whatever you choose.
I think when we take up those segments would make sense.
That makes sense to me.
Right now, I think our next meeting is scheduled for February 24th, so in 2 weeks here again, and we'll go over those sections that we just said. So the select board must be going over those sections next week.
There.
Okay.
Amy, you had mentioned one time about joint meetings. Does the budget committee have any proposal it would like to make to the select board for scheduling? I think we have one joint meeting currently on the schedule, don't we, Shannon?
Yes, I put it on, it's on the back page.
Yeah.
I've got, kind of a tentative one for April 21st and another one for May 5th. Just to go over the final overview on everything and make those votes together. want
If
to.
you all want to propose something in addition to that or different than that, please let us know. As far as joint meetings.
Mhm.
I think we work our way through it. If something comes up, we can extend an invitation out and then bring them in at that point in time. We always have gone at the end, like for when it gets down to the recap. So it's good to have everybody together at that point. And then it goes to the warrant writing.
I know most of the time that I remember, like at the beginning when I was on the select board and when I started on the budget committee before select board, it just seemed like the budget committee and the select board, we all met together. I just remember when we were in the,
There were times, and there were other times that we
Yeah.
didn't. The thing about it was that we were never, it was never done right. This,
Mhm.
we're doing it right now where the board goes, as you read our charge, it says the board comes up with a budget. They present it to us, we go through it and then present it back. That's in our charge.
Mhm.
So unless we want to change the charge.
Whatever you would like to do, I'm happy to propose to my colleagues. So just let us know.
Perfect.
Well, it seems like it's a really good idea where the budget, where the select board is getting together in the meeting and discussing your items and then.
And there's next Tuesday, we're discussing the sections that Shannon mentioned. Show up. It's a public meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. What else do we, in my little notes, I just have, whatever anybody else wants to talk about right now. Or any
Good.
particular items. We're good?
We're good.
No, I've got nothing else.
Okay,
8 o'clock in Nova Scotia.
okay, that's good to know. Good to know. So if we concluded everything tonight, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Okay, second,
Second.
all right, all in favor?
Very good.